Parents orchestrated sister's sweet 16 redo while disregarding my 21st birthday 4 weeks before my 21st birthday. I trudged home from my part-time job at the local bookstore, my mind buzzing with plans for a simple dinner to celebrate with a few close friends. Nothing extravagant, just a quiet gathering to mark the milestone. In the kitchen, I found Mom and my 19-year-old sister, Chloe, hunched over a stack of glossy party planning magazines. My heart lifted briefly, thinking they might be for me, until I overheard their chatter. It was all for Chloe's sweet 16 redo, a second attempt at a party from 5 months earlier because, apparently, the first one didn't truly reflect her essence. I'm not exaggerating. Mom, can we talk about my birthday next month? I ventured, easing my backpack onto the counter. She barely glanced up, her focus glued to the catalogs. Chloe's been feeling invisible lately, Ava. We need to be sensitive to her needs. Chloe, engrossed in circling images of balloon arches and dessert displays with a pink gel pen, didn't even acknowledge me. I just want a small dinner, maybe 5 friends at the Italian place downtown, I said softly, trying to keep my tone light. I've been saving up from work. No way, Dad's voice cut in sharply from the doorway. I hadn't even heard him enter. Do you have any idea how that would make your sister feel? She's grappling with her self-esteem, and watching you celebrate would devastate her. His eyes bored into me, unyielding. Mom piled on, family comes first, Ava. Always. You're turning 21, you're an adult now. It's time to think less about yourself and more about how your actions affect others. Chloe finally looked up, her expression all wide-eyed innocence. I'm sorry, Ava. I know it's not fair, but if you have a big party, I'll feel like nobody sees me. The logic was so warped I nearly laughed, but instead, I turned and left the kitchen without another word. That night, I lay awake in my childhood bedroom, crunching numbers. 3 years of bookstore wages had netted me $45.72, originally saved for college, but a full academic scholarship to the state university covered tuition and housing. My birthday fell on a Friday. By midnight, I'd hatched a plan. For the next 4 weeks, I played the role of the perfect daughter, attending classes, working my shifts, finishing homework, and never mentioning my birthday. My parents seemed relieved, as if my silence erased any tension. Chloe, meanwhile, dove deeper into planning her extravagant redo, which had ballooned into a weekend getaway at a luxury spa resort, costing more than my beat-up car. A clunker worth $800, its muffler held together with wire hangers. On the Thursday before my birthday, I began quietly moving out. Small things first: my laptop, important documents, and a few cherished novels. I'd rented a storage unit across town for $45 a month, making trips after work under the guise of picking up extra shifts. My best friend, Sophie, knew my plan and offered her family's home as a temporary refuge, but I declined. I needed to do this on my own, to prove to myself I could stand independently. Friday morning, I woke at 6:00 a.m. At 6:23, the exact moment Mom always said she was in labor with me, I whispered, "Happy birthday," to the empty room. No one knocked, no card appeared, no cake materialized. I dressed, packed the last of my essentials into 2 duffel bags, and headed downstairs. My parents sat in the kitchen, sipping coffee. Chloe was still asleep. "I'm leaving," I announced, my voice steady. Mom looked up, confused. "Okay, have a good day at school." "No," I corrected. "I'm leaving, moving out. I'm 21 now and I'm done." Dad's coffee mug froze halfway to his mouth. "What are you talking about?" "I've packed," I said. "I've rented a room near campus and I start a summer job Monday." Mom's face cycled through shock, confusion, and settled on fury. "You're being ridiculous, Ava. You can't just leave because you're upset about your birthday." "I'm not upset," I replied. "I'm choosing. You've made it clear where I stand in this family, and I'm at peace with that. But I don't have to stay here and watch it anymore." Dad stood, his face crimson. "If you walk out that door, don't expect us to welcome you back with open arms." "I don't expect anything from you anymore," I said, feeling a strange calm. "That's actually freeing." Mom tried a softer approach. "Honey, you're hurt. We understand. Let's talk. Maybe we can do something small for your birthday this weekend." "I don't want something small this weekend," I said. "I wanted to matter 4 weeks ago when I asked. I wanted to matter 19 years ago, or 10, or any time before today." I hoisted my bags. "I'll come back for the rest when you're not here." Chloe appeared at the top of the stairs, bleary-eyed in her pajamas. "What's happening?" Mom snapped. "Your sister's being selfish, throwing away her family over a birthday party." I looked at Chloe, feeling a pang of pity. She'd been raised to believe her feelings were the center of the universe, a setup that would hurt her someday. "Bye, Chloe," I said and walked out. I moved into a tiny room rented from Mrs. Lee, an elderly woman who housed college students, for $500 a month, utilities included. It was barely bigger than a closet, with a twin bed, desk, dresser, and a window overlooking her garden. That first night, I sat on the bed, eating Chinese takeout alone. At 8 p.m., Mrs. Lee knocked and handed me a cupcake with a single candle. "Your application said today's your birthday," she said with a warm smile. "Everyone deserves cake." Tears spilled over, the first time I'd cried since leaving. The next few months were brutal in ways I hadn't anticipated. Working 40 hours a week while taking summer classes left me exhausted. I survived on instant noodles, peanut butter sandwiches, and occasional free food from university events. There was no budget for luxuries, no coffee shops, no movies, no new clothes. Yet I felt lighter than I had in years, unburdened by the weight of my family's expectations. My parents called twice in the first month, their conversations short and strained, urging me to apologize and return. I refused, and the calls stopped. Chloe texted once, "Mom and Dad are really hurt. You should apologize." I blocked her number. I threw myself into my studies and freelance graphic design work with an intensity that bordered on unhealthy. By summer's end, I'd landed an internship at Harrison and Associates, a marketing firm downtown. Initially unpaid, it became a paid position at $15 an hour after my supervisor, Claire Harrison, saw my work revamping a client's social media strategy. "You've got a knack for this," she said. "How old are you?" 21, I replied. She shook her head. "I didn't have half this figured out at 30. My first major project was rebranding a local coffee chain losing customers to corporate giants. I spent 2 weeks diving into their customer base, analyzing social media trends, and crafting a campaign that highlighted their community roots and artisanal approach. Presenting to Claire and the client, my hands shook so badly I clasped them behind my back. The client loved it, implementing every suggestion. Within 6 weeks, their foot traffic jumped 30%. Claire called me into her office when the numbers came in. "You just secured us a long-term contract," she said, sliding an envelope across her desk. "That's a bonus. You earned it." Inside was a $600 check, the most money I'd ever held. "Thank you," I said, voice catching. "Don't thank me," she replied. "Get back to work. 3 more clients need your touch." By October, Claire offered me a part-time position at $25 an hour, lasting through the school year. I accepted instantly, then went home to my tiny room and cried, not from sadness, but because things were finally falling into place. The job reshaped my life. I switched to morning classes to work afternoons and evenings at the firm. My weeks became a whirlwind of lectures, client meetings, design projects, and late-night study sessions. I ran on coffee and sheer will, sleeping maybe 5 hours a night if I was lucky. Mrs. Lee noticed my fatigue. She started leaving containers of homemade soup outside my door with notes like, "Eat something besides noodles. You're too thin." Her small kindnesses kept me afloat when I felt like collapsing. There were moments I questioned leaving home, not because I missed my parents, but because the relentless grind left no room for joy. But then I'd walk past my old house on my way to campus, see Chloe's car in the driveway with a personalized license plate they'd bought her, and remember why I'd left. In November, I ran into Chloe's high school friend Jessica at a campus coffee shop. "Ava, your mom said you moved out for school, living independently, so cool," she exclaimed, hugging me before I could dodge. That was their story, clean and simple, hiding our fallout. "Yeah, doing all right," I said evenly. "Chloe misses you," Jessica said. "She wishes you'd come home for Thanksgiving. Your parents are throwing her a huge party, renting out that restaurant on 5th Street. Of course they were, another lavish event for Chloe while I was erased. "Sounds nice," I said flatly, and left before she could say more, my chest tight with rekindled anger. Ethan, my boyfriend of a month, noticed my shift. One night after studying in the library, he asked, "What's going on? You've been off all week." I poured out the story, my parents, Chloe, the birthday that broke me. He listened, his face darkening. That's messed up, Ava. Like seriously messed up. That's not normal family stuff, it's emotional neglect. His bluntness cracked something open in me. I guess I thought I wasn't trying hard enough to be what they wanted, I admitted. That's what neglect makes you think, he said. It was never your fault. We sat in his car in the parking lot, and I sobbed harder than I had in months. He held my hand, letting me feel it all. You're coming to Ohio for Thanksgiving, he said when I calmed down. My mom will feed you until you can't move, and Dad will bore you with his model trains. Non-negotiable, I protested, not wanting to intrude, but he insisted. You're family now, that's how real families work. Thanksgiving with Ethan's parents, James and Sarah, was a revelation. They welcomed me like I'd always belonged, sharing recipes and stories. Sarah said, "You're welcome here anytime, holidays, weekends, whenever. If your parents won't be in your corner, we will." I had to step away to cry, overwhelmed by their warmth. By December, I'd been promoted to junior designer at Harrison and Associates, earning enough to move into a one-bedroom apartment in a safer neighborhood with proper insulation and a functional kitchen. I felt rich. I made the dean's list, joined a campus design collective, and grew closer to Ethan, who made me laugh without ever dimming my light. I spent Thanksgiving with Mrs. Lee's family and Christmas with Ethan's in Ohio, ringing in New Year's with design friends on a rooftop, watching fireworks, and feeling like I'd found myself. In March, at a downtown networking event, I heard a familiar voice. Ava. It was Chloe, looking older, tired in a State University sweatshirt, holding a tray of sad cheese cubes. She was a freshman, struggling. "How did you do it?" she asked, marveling at my professional appearance. I was cautious but gave her my number. 2 weeks later, her academic advisor called. Chloe was failing 3 classes, missing appointments, and listed me as her emergency contact. We met for coffee. She looked worse, admitting our parents' coddling left her unprepared for college. I helped her plan tutoring, office hours, and a lighter course load. Weekly coffees followed. Her grades slowly climbed. In May, I won the presidential scholarship, full ride plus a $15,000 stipend. Ethan took me to the Italian restaurant I'd wanted for my birthday. "To the girl who saved herself," he toasted. Mom called, fake congratulatory, pushing a family dinner. "You never celebrated me," I said. "No apology, no moving forward." I hung up. Days later, Chloe called, distraught she'd been arrested for DUI, refusing our parents' plan to make it vanish. "I want to face it," she said. I helped her navigate the plea deal and consequences. In June, Mom accused me of poisoning Chloe against them. "She's seeing your parenting for what it was," I said. "Don't blame me." I hung up. Chloe called, shaken, mentioning a family dinner they wanted. I wasn't sure I'd go. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.